Hello guys. I will be playing one more time against Subway Surfers, as usual. And this idea was recommended to me by Stas. Hello Stas. I'm making this video just briefly, and actually I will upload another scaling guide tomorrow because I think this video will be quite short, and I really just want to get into the categories themselves as well. Um, and this video will be about VC debating specifically, and I will be trying to basically conveying to you why should people try or start VC debating in the first place, and why it is more advantageous to the community to actually adopt that kind of debating. Uh, First of all, I obviously don't expect the community to completely like eradicate text scaling just because of my video. I'm just trying to um, basically plant a bug into somebody's head into thinking, oh, okay, maybe VC debating is not a bad idea, to be honest. Because even good debaters in the community, they think that VC debating is quite incompatible with SCD, and that's because of the amount of text that we need to actually analyze in order for our feed to actually be of any substance in the first place. And I do agree with you or with them to some extent, but I think that much like anything, SCD debating can still be compatible with like VC debating, like no problem. I don't think why it should be problematic, and there are many reasons why we should actually try to VC debate more as compared to text debating. The first and most obvious reason I feel like is the fact that good debaters from different communities are not joining SCD just because of this very reason that we don't VC debate. Because VC debating is a norm in power scaling and in philosophy debating, and basically any other community, whether it's politics, like it doesn't really matter. Any community does like debates mostly or predominantly on VC, and we in SAD just do text, so that's an issue, and that's actually why a lot of people outside of SAD think that SAD is quite repulsive to them, and there is obviously an everlasting issue that SAD debaters are not really competent. I think that most people probably agree on that. Like when we look at power scalers or when we look at philosophy debaters, like SCD debaters compared to them for the most part are not really competent. I think there are only 5 debaters in SCD that can probably like hold their ground against good debaters outside of the community, and that's an issue. We just need better debaters in the community, and with better debaters, better scales will come, and everything will just get substantially, exponentially better. So that's one reason. And the other reason I would like to introduce is the fact that text debating or VC debating actually takes skill to do. Like in text debating, anybody can text debate because you have just so much time to actually think about your response. You have so much time to search for scans, search for additional information that you haven't even known before the debate. Okay, so maybe you agree to debate on a topic and you had absolutely no idea what the topic actually is about, but because there is like I don't know, like an hour or not even an hour, like a day, a burden of proof, burden of rejoinder, right? So you can like take an entire day to just analyze what you want and what you will respond later down the line. And you didn't know that before the debate. You just learned it throughout the debate. And sure, that can be a good tool for learning, but it's not a good tool to actually show how good of a debater you actually are, because if you will do this, then you can pretty much be on the level of I don't know, scientists basically, because you can research literally anything like before or after debate started because you just have so much time, whereas in VC debating you have to basically argue on the spot from the knowledge you already know. So VC debating actually takes skill because first of all, you are working with the knowledge that you yourself have and that you can employ in a debate. Second of all, you also need a lot of quick thinking. You need a lot of quick thinking in PC debating specifically because you need to address the concepts that your opponent is trying to convey to you in like quite a fast way. Because if you do not, you are basically holding the dialectic, which is never really good, and they will call you out for that. And maybe you will just lose the debate on this technicality if you just don't respond. for a long time in a VC debate. So you need to respond quite fast. You need to formalize, conceptualize your thoughts. That could be quite problematic. And in general, I think if we start VC debating, everything would go up like gradually. Like when you lose a VC debate, it's much more psychologically impactful than when you lose a text debate. Okay, it feels like to me it's more personal. And when you lose a personal debate, and you are like, okay, well I fucked up, so I will just try to learn more about it, like how to VC debate. I will try VC debating with the same guy next time after I research a topic again, and maybe I will beat him. Text debating doesn't work that way because first of all, there's also one issue with text debating, and is that even the debaters themselves, they just start a debate and they barely even finish it because they just become so much bored of the debate itself because of how long it takes that they become disinterested. But in VC debating, you can literally end a debate in an hour. Okay, and when we compare that 1 hour to basically, I don't know, a week of debating, week worth of debate that has been ongoing, but is quite dead for the most part, it's quite problematic, right? And it would also be way easier for the judge to actually judge the debate because you don't need to reread shit that you forget throughout the debate because your debaters are not responding when you are a judge. When they are actively in VC, you can judge what they actively say in VC and conceptualize your thoughts at the moment, which is way easier than conceptualize your thoughts when half of the thoughts basically are already in your long-term memory, right? And you're not really working with the memories that you have of the debate, and that's an issue, right? So VC debating is advantageous even on that margin, which is really why I want to appeal to the community, and then I think we should really start VC debating more. I know that my good friend Turt has been trying to kind of shift the focus of debating to VC on a new SCD server. It's called Pandemonium. To be honest, I will be honest, it's quite dead right now. Like there are not many debates, but at least he's trying to push this idea forward, and I actually support it. I think that we should. I don't want to say we should abandon text debating, but we should have it 50-50. Like, to every VC debate, there should be a text debate. To every text debate, there should be a VC debate. I know this will be a slow change. It will not be fast, money in order, but we really do need to make this change in order for the community to grow. We cannot just keep text debating all the time. And VC debating will actually filter out all the bad people from the community that they are respected. Okay, if you are a good text debater and you are shit in VC, most likely you are just a bad debater overall. Like that's just how it works. Because VC debating is actually hard. Text debating is fundamentally easy. Okay, so just the other day, I had a VC debate with a guy called Ace. Ace is he has really high vocabulary when he types on text, right? But when we were started to VC debate, he basically started every third word, and he couldn't conceptualize his thoughts in like 5 minutes of the argument. Like he kept talking for about 5 minutes in a row, and when I finally interrupted him, telling him basically to finally like push that idea off, like convey it to me in a precise, concise way, and he was just unable to do so. And this unable to formalize your thoughts correctly is it's really something. And I actually expected Ace to be a better debater, but he's really just not. From what I've seen in the VC debate, he also like couldn't grasp what I'm even debating about for like an entire hour. I kept saying, I kept trying to convey to him what's my stance, and he just kept putting words in my mouth that I never really argued against, and that was quite problematic, and that's why I realized that I think I should really make this video, and I don't really want to like make fun of Ace or anything in this video, but really like it's just an illustration how important VC debating actually is. Because if we started VC debating, we can actually filter out the weak people from the community, or not really filter out, but we can finally decide who is actually a good debater and who is actually a bad debater. And VC debating reflects that way more than text debating, and that's that really. So don't be scared of people just because they sound eloquent in text or just because they sound smart in text, because sometimes maybe they are just stupid when you finally get to VC debate them. Like they don't track, they have poor argumentation, they they stutter, they can't conceptualize their thoughts, and that's just how it works. Okay, in SCD, there are not many good VC debaters probably because we are just so not used to VC debating, and this I feel like this needs to fundamentally change, and we need to actually rework how SCD works. And you say that SCD is really long in format, but like okay, sure, but like what's stopping you from just okay? An example: if you debate a strategy, right? If you debate a strategy, there are like 5 layers in the strategy. That's a hypothetical. That's an example, right? So what is stopping you from breaking down every single layer individually and arguing it individually, and then going over to the second layer? If the debate is that long, or if you think that it will be that long, why not just cut the debate in small parts and debate the small parts individually so you can keep track way better? You can basically make arguments way better, and it will just basically work. I don't see a problem. I don't feel like it shouldn't work. Like I don't see any compelling reason as to why it shouldn't work. To be honest, really, I think this is really important to actually realize, and that I think we should really start at least trying to VC debate. It's it's fundamentally good for the community, and if you like want your tips, or if you like want to accommodate that kind of format, you can like I don't know, you can like reach out to me on Discord. We can, for example, call. We can VC on Thursday, Friday, days like those when I'm usually free, and we can like make a schedule or something. We can call once or twice. You will get used to talking in VC in English if you're, for example, not native speaker. I'm also not a native speaker, but I'm quite confident in my English, so I don't really think that's an issue for me. But yeah, I will generally, if you really want to try VC debating, I am more than happy to help you try to do it well, because I think those people who try basically reforming SCD for the better, they are really worthy, even if they are not good. For example, if they are not good debaters, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter. I value you because you try to push SCD forward. And if you're not a good debater, who gives a fuck about that, right? Like, I value that you are trying to change something into for the better. So really, if there's somebody who is like wanting to get better at VC debating, we can, for example, have a mock debate or just a discussion. Discussion actually take like form of debating anyway. So we can have a discussion. We can talk about something, whatever. I do philosophy. I do SCD. So one of these topics we can definitely talk about, just in a chill way, of course. And it will definitely help you in your rhetoric skills in VC debating. I don't want to sound like pretentious. I'm also not that good in VC debating. I'm quite new to VC debating myself. I had like 2 debates only in VC so far because just SCD just doesn't allow for VC debating. I was never against it, but there was never really an opportunity to do VC debate before. So I'm quite new to it. But I really see why it's important to actually adopt that kind of debating style in the future. And so yeah, just reach out to me on Discord. I will leave my Discord on in the description, and that will be probably it. So yeah, and tomorrow I will upload a guide on FSIQ. I'm not sure if I will break it down to categories or if I will like go over the entire category. I think I will just go over the entire category. I think the video might be like a little bit, longer, because it's like 5 subtests that have like individual subtests. It will be quite longer, I think, but I don't really want to go over the individual subtests of FSIQ because I think that will be quite a drag to make. So I will just do it in one go and see where do I go from there. And yeah, so see you tomorrow. Where I will be uploading another guide.